Thank you, Secretary General Toure, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Vice President, distinguished ministers, and distinguished CEOs. It's a great pleasure to meet all of you again, and thank you very much for your strong commitment to make this world connected through your great power. Gradually, I have come to realize that how much big power you can exercise. I'm not talking about prime ministers or presidents or vice presidents or ministers who have legal institutional power. But the most important power can come from business leaders. After all, it is the business leaders who can invest their resources, who can make technological innovation happen. Therefore, this roundtable with the CEO will be very important. I know that this ambitious roundtable will talk about the current economic crisis, cybersecurity, and the digital divide. These are all important issues. But at this time, I'd like to know how much and how we can use the power of ICT in addressing climate change. On top of all these multiple crises, we have the most pressing issue and urgent issue of climate change. We talked a lot about climate change yesterday, and this ICT can bring great tools. You are the persons, you are the leaders who have the tools in your hands, and I'd like to urge you to use your wisdom, use your political and policy priority, right, to bring these ICT tools to climate change. I know ICT industry itself is a part of problems causing 2 to 3% of greenhouse gas emissions. But using these tools, your power, you can reduce about at least 15% of greenhouse gas emissions from the other sectors. That's quite significant. I know that with further innovation coming, you will significantly reduce these problems. Therefore, you are standing in both problems and problem solvers. So you have answers. So I'd like to use and expect more answers than problems. This is basic purpose of our meeting today. As you know, there was summit meeting on climate change in New York, September 22nd. I have been working directly or indirectly with the United Nations maybe at least more than 30 years. And now as a Secretary General, I have seen only one case when and where all the heads of state, more than 100 heads of state, gathered at one time at one place. There have come more number of heads of state over a period, maybe over a period of 2 weeks or so. People would come and go. But on September 22nd, you have seen all 101 heads of state and government sitting together at one place with all the richest and all the most vulnerable countries' leaders. They expressed and exchanged their views and most importantly demonstrated their political leadership commitment. At this time, even though we are going through an economic crisis, I believe, and you will believe, that we have resources. We have financial capacity. We were able to mobilize $5 to $6 trillion in London to make stimulus packages, internationally coordinated. United States alone has mobilized more than 1.5 trillion, China $600 billion, and most European countries more than $1 trillion. We have, I think, financial resources. We have technology. We have technological capacity. What is largely lacking is political will. Political leaders, they have to demonstrate their leadership role. Business CEOs, you have demonstrate your leadership, political leadership. In your company, science has provided irrefutable facts. So science means quite clear that climate change is happening much faster than expected, than we have realized. Then now it's in the hands of political leaders, in the hands of business leaders. The difference between science and political leaders, business leaders, is that science is irreversible. They do not have any choice. It's there. But you have choice. That's good thing or bad things. You can make a good choice, you can make bad choice. You have $1 million. You can use this for another policy matters. You can use this money for climate change. This is a global challenge. Therefore, please don't look at only on your company or your country. Please look at this issue as a global issue requiring global leadership role, global priority. That's what I'd like to really ask your support and leadership role. And I hope we'll have a good exchange of views, and I'm ready to listen to your challenges. But please make a wise and good choice for the benefit of humanity. Thank you very much.